Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set up a customer. So let me go ahead and click up here in our hamburger menu as well. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set up a customer. So let me go ahead and click back in this hamburger menu, and we're going to click on the customer section. And you can see there's nothing in here yet, so we're going to go ahead and hit add a customer. And the customer name, we're just going to use, let's use John Smith. John's phone number, I'm just going to do whatever number we can type in there just for now. Not going to put any cell phone for now. And then let's just do, I'm going to do my email account here. Obviously, you want to put the customer's email here because when you email off the estimate to them, that's what's going to populate. So, or that's where the estimate's going to go to. So you want to make sure you put the customer's email in there correctly. And we're just going to go put address in here. And again, it pops up for me. So we'll just use the same address as the business address for this purpose. Not going to do anything here because we're not sure what's going on. We don't know if it's sold, pending, or lost. Click Save. So we've got our customer up here. If you want to go add a new customer, you go to the same spot, hamburger menu, click Customers, Add, and you can add a new customer. Now we're ready to start our estimate. So now that we've got our customer in there, we've got our customer, we've got our settings set up, we've got the lights, and we have the REITs in there. I'm going to go ahead and start it in estimate. So you're going to click down here where it says Estimates. And with that, you're going to add a new estimate. Click this box, the customer box. You can see that John Smith's in there because I added him. And then we're going to click a section. We're going to go and start with archways and arbors. And I'll go back to this real quick, and I'll just show you all the different sections we have in here. And we're going to go through each section so you can see what it entails and what you need to click. Archways and arbors. So let's say we're doing an archway, and let's just call it 25 feet, difficulty level. Difficulty level is this is something that's talked about in our training. If you're not sure what they are, you should watch some of the videos and get some training on it. But it's based on if you walk up and it's just an easy one using an A-frame ladder, whatever the case is. Maybe it's higher. Maybe it's it's hard to get to. Whatever the case is, that's where you're going to use your difficulty levels. So there's all sorts of 3 different difficulty levels. And based on which one you choose, the price is going to be different. So right here, we got 1407. If I do that same 25 in the difficulty level 2, you can see that my break even is 2109. Okay, so we're going to go back and just put it in the 1407. You can see the difference in change. All right, well, you've got a couple things here. Let me go ahead. You've got lit garland. You've got garland and special conditions. Okay, so how that works is for balcony and fence lines, we're in archways and arbors. You have different percentages going in there. So if I click garland, it's going to add 50%. You can see my number change down here, 50% until it'll break even. It's also going to add it to my time that's going to take. So I've got 37 minutes originally. Now my total minutes is 56 minutes, 56.25 minutes. We're going to go back up here. And if I unclick that, everything will change back. Garland. The garland adds 25% as well. And then special conditions, depending on where you're installing. You may have snow conditions. It may be snowy out there. It's a little bit harder. Everything takes 50% longer. So you've got to kind of decide on, what is the landscape of the property or what kind of weather you're dealing with. And this will add 50%. So this adds 50% to the break even, and it adds 50% to your time. Okay, so we're just going to click these right for now. Then you can type a description. You can type, let's see, we're going to decorate arbor and let's see here. This description will carry over to the estimate. So you want to type a description here, which is useful. So if you have any discrepancies or anything down the road, you've got it all in the estimate that goes out to the customer. You can add a photo. On this one, it's gonna, because I'm on my desktop, it's gonna ask me to go to my desktop and upload something. But when you're out in the field on your phone, you just click that and it'll open up your camera so you can take some photos. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click. Got to find my photos. I've got a lot of stuff in here. Let's go to Dropbox. All sorts of stuff. Website. Let's just go to website photos, and we'll just put a photo in there. It's just a tree, but it's just for this instance. We'll just click on the tree. There you go. Once I put one photo in there, it does pop up another box for me to do another photo. So if you want to add multiple photos, you can do that. And these will carry over to the estimate. So the photos of whatever you take will carry over to the estimate so the customer can see what you're decorating. Here's our break even. Okay, if we want to go out and just not make any money at all, we'll just charge the customer this. Based on what we put in our settings tab under our markup, it's marking it up 100%. So you can see this is our markup here. If you decide that you want to adjust that at any time, you can go back to the settings and adjust that number. Keep in mind that we'll adjust every single estimate across the board. Okay, for these archways, we're going to go ahead and click on the type of lights. We only have 2 different types of lights in there. So we're just going to click on the C9 LED lights. We've already got our price in there as well. So we've got total feet. Our light charge is going to be $19. Okay. The reason that is because it's a 21-foot strand is what we put it at. And in this instance, because it's 25 feet, we're going to have to use multiple strands. So our cost for each strand was $9.50. And you can see it's calculating based on you having to use 2 strands. Okay. And our strand was 21 feet. That's what we put in our settings. And we're having to use 25 feet, which is going to make us use two strands. So we want to charge for 2 strands, not just one. Total cost $47.14, and that's that's the light charge and the labor charge combined. Total amp draw, we don't have anything because I didn't put anything in there. Total minutes, it gives you total minutes for this installation for just this section. I'm going to click save. And we're going to, here's our estimate right here. John Smith. Okay. I'm going to go down to the job totals. This is something you can do at the end after you're done with all your estimates. If you click on job totals, we don't have much in there. We just have John Smith, and we just have, let me go ahead and edit this. I have to edit the first time for my numbers to be in there. So we've got John Smith, archways and arbors. We've got $28 for labor. We got 19. So this is a detailed report of what you've added and what you've got in your estimate right here. If we go down here, let's scroll down to the bottom. You've got rental, yes or no. Is this a rental or is it a purchase? This is very important because when the estimate goes out, if it's a purchase, if they're purchasing the lights, then the lights are going to be separated from the labor. So the customer is going to be able to see what the charge of the lights is. If it's a rental, the price of the lights and the rental, and the labor are going to be combined into one total. You do have the ability, so you want to select which one you're doing based on what the customer wants to do. You do have the ability to put a discount if you ever want. If they decide they're not purchasing but they're doing rental and you want to do a discount, let's do a $200 discount right here. I'm not going to do anything yet in this section. We're going to go back. And I'm going to leave it as pending right now. And I'm going to click save. Oh, rental has not been filled out. It's going to require me to do that. So let's just do it as a rental currently. Is it a rental? No, it's not. So that means they're purchasing it. And I'm going to click save. So you can see all my job totals. If I click on the job total section, here's my customer, John Smith. The price is minus $152 because I did give him a $200 discount, but we're not done going through this estimate. That's something you probably want to do at the end. After you do that, I just wanted to show you how the job totals works. We'll go back to it later and you'll see how it's filled in. I'm going to do a quick summary and see. All my customers are going to be listed right here. I've got John Smith. We only have one archway and arbor. You can always click on that and you can edit it from this screen as well if I want to edit this section. Maybe John tells me like, oh, this is too much. Let's get rid of the archways. We can always go back and we can change that information. I'm going to go back to my estimates and John Smith. And we're going to go ahead and add a section. Next section we're going to add is balcony and fence lines. Okay. So balcony and fence lines, let's say we're doing a fence line and it comes out to be maybe 75 feet. So we're going to do difficulty level 1 for this instance. If you have to do a second wrap, you can also put that. Maybe they want swags along the fence, and then on the top part of the fence, they want to just run the lines all the way across. So the swags are 75 feet, so the line straight across would maybe be, I don't know, we'll put 25 feet for now. That's the second wrap. Difficulty level for both of those too. If it's a little bit harder to get to, or there's bushes in the way and you can't really get to it, you just got to kind of determine, is that going to be a level 1 or level 2? You got Lick Garland. Are we doing Lick Garland on this? So Lick Garland for this one is 20. Will give you a 25% to the break even. So if I click no, it goes back down. If you click yes, let's say we're doing Lick Garland on this. And we'll just type our description. Run. Okay. Again, your photo. You want to put a photo in there. Let's just pick one, for instance. I don't have any fence lines in here, so that I know of. We're just going to pick one for this purpose. Let's see. We'll just pick this one. That looks good. Probably better off using that for roof lines. Another option to put a photo in if we want. We'll just go ahead and add one to this section just for, let's see here. Yeah, there you go. You got another photo option if we want to. So we'll just leave it at that. We got our break even. Yeah, if you don't want to make any money, you charge the customer this. Labor charge 182, and that's based on our markup, 100% markup. I'm going to go ahead and click on lights. Let's just use mini lights on this section. We've got how many feet we're doing. If I go back up to my section, I've got 75 plus 25, 100 feet we're doing. So it'll give me total feet of lights that we're using. Light charge based on what we put in for the mini lights. And that's $125 light charge right there. Okay. I believe we did this as a strand. I don't remember exactly what our cost was, but this is in there as a strand. So I'm sorry, this is in there as that's right. We did $1 per foot, I believe, or $1.25 per foot. So that's where it came out right there, 100 feet, and then $1.25 because we can cut spools. We're saying that this mini lights LED, which you wouldn't be cutting mini lights LED, but we put that as a strand. All right. Total amp draw is not calculated. Total minutes, and there's your total minutes. We're going to click save on here. You can see we got archways and arbors. We got the fence lines in there. Go to job totals, and that will give me all my information. Oh, you can see that this is updated. Archways and arbors. Okay, we need to take that section out. Okay, so now we're going to click back into our customer. Here's our customer. Here's our two different sections we have. You're going to add another section. And this section is going to be bushes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on bushes. And these are the different bush areas you have. Maybe you have, 5, 6, 7 different bushes that you're going to be doing. You need to measure the circumference of the bush. And this is all taught in our training. We do have videos on this as well. So you want to measure all sides, depending on how many sides you're doing. If you're just doing 2 sides, you measure those 2 sides, put them together. If you have more than 6 bushes, then probably you want to combine them up. If I have 2 bushes and they're both 25 feet, then you want to put your 50 feet here if you're running out of areas right here. So this is bush area 1. We're just going to go with that. And extensive coverage. The extensive coverage will be 50%. It'll add 50% to our total break even. It'll also add 50% to our time. So you got 17 originally. Now we have 26 minutes that's going to take us. Special conditions. The special conditions will add 50% as well. So if I want to click that, you can see it added another 50% here. And then let's do decorate all bushes in The description there. Again, the object for the photo. And we'll just, let's just select this one right here so we can have something in there. I know that's not a bush picture, but you get the gist of what I'm talking about here. Break even, same thing. We only have 2 different lights we can choose from, so I'm just going to go ahead and select one of the 2 and all the same stuff. Save it. There you go. Now, there's our John Smith estimate. If I want to get back there, we only have 1 customer for now, but we'll get there. We'll add a bunch of customers. Now we're going to go to the next field, add another section, columns and palms. Linear feet. This is a little bit different than everything else. So linear feet of the column or palm. So columns or pillars. Let's just say that, the pillar is, let's say it's a big one, 25 feet. Spacing. What is our spacing that we're using? Let's say we're going to do a 6-inch spacing on this. And then circumference. We will have this say in inches. Right now it does not say that, but that will be something that's fixed. So you know that this is in inches. So the circumference, you need to measure around the column or pillar and find out what the circumference is. Let's just say for this instance, it's 36 inches. How many of these are you doing? Let's say we're going to do 2 in the front. And again, same stuff here for columns and pillars. These add 25%. You can see my adjustment there. Garland, lit garland, whatever you want to do, it does add 25% down below. And then we'll do decorate 2 columns in front of house. Once again, the photo, we're not going to upload one for this one. And then we're going to do type of lights, same thing, many lights, and everything adds up for us. Click save. And there's our totals. Okay. This is we're within John still. So we're going to click on estimates. Here's John. And we're going to add another section, column and pillars. Got it. The section we're going to add this time, is light stakes. So we're going to go ahead and light stakes. Light stakes, you want to do linear feet. Let's say we're going to do 50 linear feet. Is there any special conditions that we have to worry about in this case? For light stakes, this is a 25%. It adds down below. Light stakes, lights along front entryway. Photo opportunity, everything's adding up, and we're going to use the same lights. Let's use many lights on this. And you can see total feet, light charge, total cost, and everything adds up for us. Save. You can always go back if you want to change any of this. Let's say, the customer's like, oh, you know what, let's not do the front of the house, or let's not do that one archway, whatever, or let's add these archways. You can go back, you click on it, and you just click edit. And let's say he wants to add, you want to add more. Okay, sure, we can do that. No problem. Just put 50 in there. And then we're going to click save. And there you go. Okay, so let's go ahead and add another section. Next section we're going to add is palm trees. Click on palm trees. Linear feet of palm trees. Let's say the linear feet is 40 feet. Spacing in inches, same thing. So we're going to do 6 inches. The circumference in inches, and we'll add that as well. Let's say the circumference is, let's say 24 inches. And how many of these do we have? Let's say we were doing 6 of them. Okay, you've got a couple different options here. You've got rough trunk, yes or no. If you've ever decorated, I know some of you haven't decorated palm trees at all, but we deal with it a lot in our areas. Rough trunk versus a smooth trunk definitely adds a lot of time to it. So you've got rough trunk is going to add, about 50%. So that's what we've got in here. So if I click on rough trunk, it's going to add 50% to my total. Fronds, yes or no? Do they have fronds? Are you decorating the fronds? If you click yes, you're decorating the fronds. You want to measure the frond size. So is it 6? Is it 9? 12 inches? Is it 15 inches? Okay, so let's just, for this purpose, we're going to do 9-inch fronds. And how many of the fronds are we doing? Well, we decided we're going to do 16 of the fronds. Like that. Description. Decorate all palms and and fronds. You really want to put some good details in this too. I'm not going to type out the details, but you do want to do some good details. So your customer knows what you're doing, as well as when you send this off to your installation team, they know exactly what you're doing. You don't have to type it twice or give them instructions twice. Click a photo here. We're going to go ahead and I think I do have a palm tree photo, so we'll just go ahead and add it. Oh, there's one. That's pretty. So let's just do that one. Total break even, 756. Labor charge, 1512, because we're doing lots. And we're going to pick, let's do the mini lights on the front. Okay, so as you can see, everything calculates for us. This is a big job. It's got a lot of minutes in it. And we're going to click Save. All right, the next section we're going to add is ridges. Ridges are different than roof lines. If you're going to do the ridges on a house, then you need to make sure you do a ridge section. So let's say the ridges are going to be 40 feet. Again, your difficulty level. How hard is it to get to these ridges? Are you going to need, most likely we'll need a lift, but do you need two people up there, one you holding the harness and the other guy doing the install? So you got to decide on what difficulty level this is going to be. Special conditions for ridges, we'll add 50%. So down here. Also to your time, 50% to your time, 60, and then we have 90 minutes total it's going to take us. Description for the ridges, you need to type that in there. We're going to have a photo this time. We're just going to go down, select type lights. Let's say for this, we're going to use C9 LEDs, and we're going to click Save. There's our ridges section. Next section we're going to add is roof lines. And I'll tell you why we have roof lines 1 and 2. So roof lines, we're going to do 150 feet, let's say, difficulty level 1. Staples needed. So this is important in certain areas. If you're going to be stapling to the fascia, everybody knows that staples take a lot longer. Plus the fact that you have to take them out when you take them down. So you need to make sure you decide, are we using staples or not? If you go ahead and click this, your staples needed is going to add 50% of the time. Right there, you can see that it added 50% down there. Special conditions. You got to decide, do I have any special conditions? Is it weather related, or is it hard to get to the roof line? Is there trees in the way? You just got to decide whether I have special conditions or not. Photo as well, so we'll go ahead and click one. I think I do have some roof line photos, so we'll just go ahead and click that, and let's just say we're going to do this one. It obviously won't be decorated yet, but let's take a photo of it undecorated. Total break even, labor charge, type of lights. We're going to use the C9 ones on this one. Obviously you'll have a lot more lights in there that you want to upload. You want to have a lot of choices to choose from, whatever you use on your installs. Click Save, and there you go. You can see roof lines is in there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add another section. The next section we're going to add, click in here, and we are going to add roof lines 2 to the estimate. The reason we have roof lines 2 in this is just in case you need to do 2 different types of light on a roof line. If you're doing, let's say C7s on the ridges, or I'm sorry, not the ridges. If you're doing C7s along one roof line and then you want to do a different type of light on the other roof line, this is why we have this section. You may not use this very much, but let's say that in case you do, everything is the same. It's the all the staples needed, add the same conditions to it, and everything is pretty much the same across the board. So we're just going to hit Save here. Oops. Forgot to put lights in there, so we're going to put lights. And as I said, if you need to put different type of lights on the roof line, that's what this section is for. Okay, so the next section we're going to add is click on the estimates. We're going to add a section of trees. We're going to go down here, and we're going to put how many trees we're doing. Let's say we're doing 3 trees. Tree size and type. This is something that's part of our training as well. So you can see what the different sizes are. So if you don't know what these all mean, we do have pictures that show each of the trees. So you kind of determine which tree is going to best suit what you're doing. So let's just do a medium B. Based on that, it's going to ask me what kind of wrap type: basic, moderate, extensive, moderate outside, extensive outside. So let's just say we're doing an extensive outside wrap. And what is the density? So it's going to ask me what the density is. And let's say medium. And on that, you click that, then add it down here to the total break even. We can put a description, take some photos, same type of stuff here. And for this one, we're going to do mini LEDs. And all this stuff is calculated down through here. Save. And then we will add a Windows section. We're almost done on the section. So windows, let's just say we're going to do 45 feet of windows, difficulty level 1. Lit garland, do on the side. Yeah, they want lit garland around the borders, so we're going to do that. And lit garland around all windows in front. Add a photo if you want. We're not going to do that for this purpose. And then let's say we're going to use mini lights on this one as well. And I'm going to click save. Oh, quantity. How many windows? Sorry about that. Let's go back here. So you got difficulty level 1. We have 45 for one window. How many of those windows are we doing? Let's say we're doing 4 windows. And then we click save. All right, let's go back and we're going to add a wreath section. Scroll down here, you've got wreaths. Now notice that this says enter number of wreaths at each level. So let's say we're going to do 4 wreaths on this house, but we're going to use 2 different size wreaths. So I'm just going to put 2 here, difficulty level 1. Special conditions for wreaths, we'll add 50% to it. So let's say there's special conditions on it. You can do description, your photo, same stuff. And we're going to select wreaths, and this is a different menu. So we're going to say we're going to do 2 of the 40s. I'm going to click save. And then what we're going to want to do is go back to this section. I'm sorry, we're going to go back here. We've got wreaths. So we're just going to add another section. And I'm going to do another wreath. And let's say we're doing 2, difficulty level 1, special conditions, yes, descriptions, all that stuff. And then let's say these 2 are 60-inch wreaths. So this is the way that you enter if you have multiple wreaths. Click save. Okay, so now you can see that it all calculated down here. Here's my pricing for the wreaths. I got 2 at difficulty level 1. And then here's my pricing based on the wreaths costs and stuff. All right, we're going to go add, we've got 2 more sections here. So we're going to go ahead and add an extra equipment. If you need to use a boom lift, or if there's anything you need to use, you need to put that here. So let's just say it's a lift. And what is my price? I can also add another one. If we have to use a lift and we have to use something else, you can add another one there as well, but we're just going to start with 1. And price per day. So let's say this is going to cost me $350. How many days do I need it? I'm going to say we need it 2 days. If we have an equipment 2, which we don't. And our cost is not calculating. Scratch that section. Okay, so now we're going to add extra equipment. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on extra equipment. And we're going to put what the equipment is. Let's say it's a boom lift. And what is, how many of those do I need? Number of equipment 1, how many do I need? We just need 1 boom lift. What is my price per day? Let's say it's $350. And how many days do I need it? I need it for 2 days. It's going to be $700. Then you can go down, you can take a photo. You're probably not going to take a photo of that. This is something we could probably have removed. And there's my total cost. So I'm going to click save. And we've got the extra equipment right there. And last but not least, let's go add the last section, yard art and displays. I'm going to put how many you're doing. Let's just say we're doing, let's just do one. The description, let's see, blow up snowman. Just do that. Don't necessarily need to take a photo of it. You made something you want to provide to the customer or whatever. Estimate times, you need to estimate how long it's going to take you to do this. So let's say a blow up a snowman is going to take me 15 minutes. And the cost of the display, let's say the snowman cost $45. So we'll put $45 here. Gives us our cost for what our total break even is. We have our 100% markup, the light charge for it, total cost. Amp draw, you don't need to worry about that. And we're going to click save. Okay, those are all our sections that we have. So this is all for one customer. If I go back to my estimates, here's my customer. Here's all my stuff. I can edit any section I want just by clicking on it. So we're going to edit windows. You click the pencil, and we can go back and we can make adjustments to it. Go ahead and cancel. I'm going to go into a job totals. Let's say we want to look at our job totals for this individual. You do have to go into it the first time. Once you go into it, all the job totals will calculate. So this is our section, job totals. You can see everything's in here. If I click save, you can see it's all in here. So we can look at it in job totals, or we can look at a summary of what we're doing here. So here's our customer, here's our total cost. Maybe the customer says, oh, those windows are too expensive, or let's take the wreaths out, whatever the case is. This is where you can do it. Click on these and you can edit these sections. Okay. Now let's go to, let me show you how you're going to send this estimate out to the customer. Let's say they want to go ahead and do it. When I go into the job total section, I click on John Smith. I'm going to edit John Smith. And this is where you can send the estimate out to the customer. Anytime you click sold or pending, it will email the estimate to both the sales rep and the customer. So right now we're just going to click sold. And remember, in this screen, you do have your rental versus purchase. So you got to decide, what are you doing, a rental or are you going to do the purchase? If they decide they want to do a rental, it's just too expensive. Maybe you want to drop down the discount price, give them a little bit more of a discount. They say we're going to give them $300 discount. I'll calculate everything for you. So this is the opportunity to give them a discount, whatever you would like to do. Okay, so we're going to go with, no, this is not a rental, this is a purchase. We're going to click save, and that will trigger the estimate to go out to the customer, as well as myself and my sales rep. Okay. Within job totals, you will have a breakdown. It will show you sold. If we have more estimates in here, you see sold, pending, and lost. Right now, we only have one estimate, so that's all you're going to see. Every so often, this will sync. It syncs by itself. It's not something you have to worry about. But if you want to, you can click the sync button, and it just does this pretty easily. That's just syncing everything with the back end, and all the data is being stored at the back end. It does it by itself. You don't have to do that. If we do an update with this app, a major update, we will ask you to go ahead and click the sync button, and that'll bring in the new update that we're doing. If we add a section or we change something within the program, then we'll ask you to do that. But we'll notify you and let you know. Now I'm going to show you a copy of the estimate. So let me go ahead and open up the estimate. It just got emailed to me as well as the customer. And I'm going to show you a copy of what the estimate looks like, what goes out. Okay, so here's the estimate right here. You can see I've got my logo in there, got all our information, our customer and stuff like that, and then the email address that I have in the system. Here's all the stuff we just filled in for this one customer. You can see here's all the different segments of it. Here's all the descriptions that we put in there. Some of them we didn't do descriptions. And then here's your material cost. And again, this is a purchase. So it's going to show you the material cost based on a purchase, and then our installation cost. So this is if they're buying the lights. If we were to do this as a rental, all the costs would be included in this section over here. We don't have a tax rate in there. We don't have a labor tax rate or anything. So that doesn't pertain to this one. As we scroll down, you can see these are the photos that I put, and it'll fall under each section. Archways, balconies and fence lines, columns and palms, light stakes. We didn't do anything, so it's not showing those. Roof lines, so on and so forth. We didn't take photos for every section, so it won't show up there. And that's it for the estimating app. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. You can call me at 949-485-1943. That's my cell phone. Or you can email me at matt@wehangchristmaslights.com if you have any questions. Hope you learned something, and good luck.